just us, nobody else. Got something for you, but keep it to yourself. I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow. This feeling's
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Dallas Mavericks. Not an easy stretch of basketball lately for Dallas. Dismal record over the last 10 games, just 2-8. Nothing seems to be going their way right now. And here we are, start of a new season. So much drama coming out of the gate.
Drama for your mama.
Shaq, for the teams that are underperforming thus far, what can they do to try and right the ship?
Look, Ernie, it's early, so don't overreact. You can mix up the rotations a little bit. Don't be scared, coach. Do what you got to do.
Well, first, you got to keep believing in yourself. But I love these player-only games.
Oh, I'll bet you.
I did, man.
Really? You liked them?
Oh, because I used to – that's the only time I could really look in your face in front of the other 11 guys and tell you how I really feel about you.
Like, Akeem, you're killing us.
No, that never was. It was more like, see, we should only give it to Akeem because he's the only one not killing us.
Oh.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And a stirring rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner by the terrific Linda Lynn, getting us ready for NBA basketball here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. So for the Thunder, their last game, a win against the Clippers.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
I mean, you'd have to question their effort, Greg. They did a great job at penetrating and kicking out. The defense simply wasn't up to the task.
And now, before we get to the tip-off, let's find out what Billy Donovan had to share with our David Aldridge. David.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
All right, thank you, David. Looking at tonight's game, two exceptional three-point shooting teams, Doris. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, usually, Kevin, with two quality shooting teams, it's about who gets rhythm, who gets open looks, and obviously, can you get into the space of shooters if you're the defensive team?
So off the tip, it's Oklahoma City, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, Matthews and Barnes, the forward pair. Smith is out there with Devin Harris, and it's Nowitzki in at the 5 down low. Looking at Dallas, they want to turn it around after the loss to Cleveland.
You know, a poor shooting night. I just got the sense they didn't work hard enough to get good looks.
Right, there has to be some sort of consistent effort to generate quality shots. It seemed to me they thought they were going to come easily.
Now here is Smith. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
I'll tell you, Paul George continues to get it done. He gets buckets and plays hard-nosed defense. This is a guy you can build your team around.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Yeah, it's good to see him with his free throw percentage up over 80.
That free throw good from George.
Well, Paul George has made himself into one of the premier two-way perimeter players in the NBA. I think you have to put him in that category with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. He can take over a game in every facet, guys.
And so he makes both from the line. And Doris, Paul George, capable of carrying a team offensively while also locking down the other team's top wing threat.
And that to me, Kevin. Wow. Now, Paul George is an exceptional athlete and demonstrating his insane dunking skills there. Get this guy in the dunk competition.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. For 3, Harris. The Thunder pull it in. And this matchup with Dallas, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
But you love how Paul George gets his feet under him first on these catch and shoot. His pre-shot routine is so important.
Right side Matthews. Lets it go from 11. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
Westbrook with the bucket.
Very hard to match the speed of Russell Westbrook. He's got change of speed and blow-by ability.
Harris with it. 9-point game his last outing. That's a 2 from Barnes. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Barnes has got his first basket of the night. Here's Anthony. Barnes grabs the miss.
Well, defenders are in the area, and that's all it took to force him to change his release.
In the corner, Smith with it. Drops in the tray. Smith's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Man, I just love how Smith is ready to shoot as soon as he gets the ball, measuring the shot as the pass is en route.
Adams' shot is good.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Mavericks trail by 3. Smith drawn the double team. The feed now to Matthews. And there's Dirk Nowitzki on the assist by Matthews. Nowitzki's got his first basket.
Well, what low post skill from Dirk Nowitzki. They enter the ball and he delivers.
You know, didn't need 2 hands for that slam. One will do just fine.
You're right. He can save the other hand for the next time. And that one's good, Barnes.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
Shoots the 3. Paul George grabs the miss. The Thunder leading by 3. Here's Anthony. Off target at the rim. Harris outside. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, and Smith gets double teamed. 6 to shoot. Barnes outside. For three, Harris. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Roberson. That one falls, coming off Anthony's feet.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
In the corner, it's Harris. Lets the three fly. Buries the long-range jumper. Harris has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And George, here we go. And the layup falls.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Smith with it. Westbrook picks him up. And that'll be Dallas as it goes out of bounds. Mavericks retain possession. Nowitzki with the screen on Westbrook. Poked loose. Oh, and a fast break for Oklahoma City. George with the bucket. George has got 10 points in the game.
Well, he's kept them in balance tonight. This guy's shooting has put them in front.
And really the past few seasons, the Thunder have just been a dominant team on the glass. They do a great job of limiting second chance points, and they get a lot of extra possessions with their own offensive rebound.
And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. Here's Harris. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game.
And how about the interior defense here early on? They have really shut down the middle.
It's never easy trying to guard Nowitzki, right? Hard not to foul this guy.
You look over the roster of the Thunder, and it's easy to see why they're such a great rebounding team. 1 through 5 can come up with 10 boards on any given night.
And those rebounding totals usually translate to wins for this team. But very rarely do they lose a game when they're having their way on the glass. The goal at the end of the night is to play the bully in and around that painted area.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, the big German, as he is affectionately known, Nowitzki, the 2011 NBA champion, will go down as one of the best shooters ever.
And so Nowitzki nails both of them. For the Mavericks, 16 consecutive years of 500 basketball or better. Coming to an end last season, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, it was the beginning of a rebuild. First time in a long time for the Mavs. And they waived some of their veterans to free up space and court time to further develop those young players. And with how competitive this organization is, you know they'll do everything they can to get back in contention to try to send Dirk out on a high note.
One shot behind the lanes.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. Maybe too soon to start talking about this, Doris, but we see some young teams getting blown out. Clearly they're in rebuild mode. At what point do you start to focus on player development versus winning games?
You know, this is such a tough organizational issue because you have to balance the priority of giving your young talent an opportunity to get the repetition necessary in a playing environment in a competitive situation versus we owe a commitment to our fans to win and win at a high level because they're paying the ticket prices and ultimately, you know, playing a part in our success. So I think some of the get out of the way. Now the superb athleticism of Russell Westbrook on full display, the vertical out of this world.
Mavericks trail by 6. There's the double team with Westbrook. Nowitzki, the pass to Barnes. Dallas moving it around. Smith with it. Now Anthony defending. Just 5 to shoot. Barnes outside, and they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And the Mavericks making a change here. Noel's checked in. And Roberson kicks to Anthony. Banked in off the glass. Anthony's got his third basket of the night right there.
You know, the ability to seize the opportunity, see the daylight, get that position, and mellow, one of the best to ever do it.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Well, how about that throw down? Anthony giving the fans their money's worth.
Mavericks trail by 8. Now, here is Smith. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Cleveland. That shot, no good.
The defense not doing its job there. Left him wide open, and I'm sure he's kicking himself for not cashing in.
And they're beginning to just flat-out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And Paul George, the 10th overall pick in 2010 out of Fresno State. I'm not sure anyone realized, Doris, he'd be this good when he first got into the league.
No, you make a great point, Kev, because the physical tools were there, but his work ethic to keep adding layers to his game has been truly a thing to watch. This guy's got a chance to win league MVP before it's all said and done.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Patterson comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And Abrinas subbed in for Andre Robertson. Dallas also making some changes. Measury, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Yogi Ferrell comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. They get a hand on it. And that'll be Dallas as it goes out of bounds. Mavericks retain possession. Thunder on D. 10-point lead. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Here's George, and George with the stuff.
Well, the length of Paul George, creating opportunities for his team. He covers an awful lot of ground with that wingspan.
The Mavericks have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Barea kicks to Barnes. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. They're on a 17-7 run. And the dunk by Westbrook.
And when you build a big lead like this, especially early, you have to guard against the letdown.
No, exactly right. You can't afford to get complacent, right? They have to stay hungry and humble if they want to keep this lead. Boy, the way he's been going, he is not going to be the guy to turn this around.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, he's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
2.
And he makes the first.
Boy, what about last season for Russell Westbrook? Not only the numbers he put up, but the jaw-dropping plays he delivered, and he helped this Thunder team to a season where many thought they'd be out of the playoff picture. He gets them into the playoffs. Incredible journey.
Both free throws good from Westbrook. And for Westbrook, you have to look at his season in a historical context. It was so great. Doris, his contributions to his team in every facet of the offense and how much his team depended on him from start to finish.
You're correct, Kevin, and it's not just the average of a triple-double, right? It went beyond that. It was his competitive spirit and a willingness to absorb the loss of an all-time great player, put his team on his back, and get them back to the playoffs. Truly incredible. I love to see them pound it inside like that, not settling for the perimeter shot.
Shoots from the right block. Nice jump shot. Good. And the Thunder lead by 16.
Well, I think this is where they'd like to see Patrick Patterson be effective, get his points in tight, make nice, efficient moves to the rim.
And Noel kicks to Barnes. Ball's knocked loose. Patterson dishes to George. Shot clock reset for Oklahoma City. Abrinas' shot is off.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Wow, look at the way the big man Noel set up his guys, puts the pass in the perfect position, easy shot.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two. And there's the foul against Dallas. Oklahoma City shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
The first one falls. Hey, Doris, with all the switching on defense, it seems like everyone has to be able to guard both inside and on the perimeter. Do you see us becoming even more of a positionless league?
You know, this is a fascinating aspect to me because you focus on a player like Draymond Green, who coming out of Michigan State was considered a tweener, somebody who was neither a guard nor a forward and didn't have the requisite skill set to be effective in the NBA. But there is true value to players, be it at the small forward, the power forward, or the center position. Because the league is such a heavy pick and roll, because the floor is so spread, Kevin, the guys who have the kind of lateral mobility and the basketball IQ to switch onto smaller players and stay in front and contest shots, they're crucial. For right now, this is the trend, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon.
Mavericks trail by 16. Pass to Farrell. Stolen by Westbrook. 2-on-1 as they jump out on the break for the finish. And it's George finishing it off.
And really focused on establishing dominance down low. And guys, it's working.
Oh, no doubt. I think they've controlled the paint. They've used their size and strength to get off any shot they want.
Barea kicks to Barnes. Off target from outside.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
They set the pick. Barea, the pass to Noel. The dish to Barnes. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
The only way he doesn't finish is if the defense gets in his face. Nice job. Ooh, with a player this hot, I don't see their lead going anywhere.
Dallas shooting it officially from the get-go. They're at 52% from the field. Now the pass to Farrell. Now here's Measury. The 3 from Barnes. No good that time.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
George, no good.
Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
Barea with it. Westbrook picks him up. Nobody near Barnes. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. And that's now 7 points for Harrison Barnes. Abrinas. And the shot no good. A bit short. Mavericks trailed by 19. Farrell kicks to Barea. Westbrook with the block.
Oh, my goodness. Russell Westbrook twice on the pipe sends that shot back My goodness.
Here's George, and George with the stuff.
And from the opening tip, they have been in complete control of this one.
Yeah, you know, it looks like they've wanted it more. Outstanding hustle and determination throughout.
And stolen by Patterson. With 1 on the clock. Got it off in time, but it's no good. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for the Oklahoma City Thunder. His production has been flowing as he's tallied 20 points and looks to be planning for more. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And Dirk Nowitzki steadily climbing the all-time scoring rankings. He talked about the remarkable journey of his long and illustrious career.
When I first got here, my first year was so tough that I didn't really know that I can make it in this league. To be named with all these names is an unbelievable honor, and it's been a crazy ride.
Dirk has proven himself through the test of time. As tough as it may have been back in his rookie year, he overcame those obstacles to become this elite NBA player destined for the Hall of Fame.
And people do talk about players being a Dirk Nowitzki type. You're right about that. And that's a type any team would like to have. One of the greatest power forwards in the NBA's history.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And for the Thunder here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
I mean, tremendous ball and body movement to start this game.
I think they're moving the basketball incredibly well and getting to the right spots on the floor, and it's really providing easy opportunities.
On the floor for Dallas, Dwight Powell is out there with Noel. Then there's J.J. Barea. Then there's Harrison Barnes. And it's Farrell in at the two-guard spot.
Well, I'll tell you, still looking for that first three of the second quarter. He had one to open this game in the first.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd, who played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in him. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A., an even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players. Free throw good, Adams.
Well, obviously, the biggest impact Steven Adams has for this team is his ability to be a defensive force in the middle. This guy carves up space, takes away any would-be penetrators, solid rim protection, just an unbelievable guy on the interior.
Matthews, he's checked in for Barnes. And so he hits both. More on Adams, Doris. Not only is he a shot-blocking presence, but also will come up with a good amount of steals for a big man.
And that's an area, Kev, where Adams has really improved recently. For his size, he's got great agility and great anticipation in the paint. And I like that there's no hesitation to rotate and challenge any player he switches onto.
And that's another fast break bucket. And this is the pace, though, guys, that's been working for him.
I think, Greg, the faster the tempo, the better they are. And I love the pace they're playing with right now.
And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Anthony's checked in for Steven Adams. The Mavericks also with a sub. Devin Harris is checked in for Yogi Ferrell. There's the double team with Grant. Fires from the line. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. And that's now 7 points for Wesley Matthews. This is to Patterson. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Well, a convincing finish by Patrick Patterson, giving us a demonstration of the kind of power he has at his disposal.
Dallas has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And here is Harris. He dishes it to Barea. Right side Matthews. Shot clock at 6. Over Grant. And too long on the shot.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Basket good.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
The Mavericks have gotten only one of their first 4 shots in the second quarter to drop. Harris outside. They set the screen. Here's Barea, and Grant sends it back. Here's Anthony. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
That's it. I never get tired of seeing Anthony operate the skill, the grace, but also the power.
Powell with the screen. Barea dishes to Powell. Harris outside. Buries it from 3-point range. Harris has got 6 points.
Perfect example of how to set a great screen. Set your feet, stand firm.
Here's Grant. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Dallas calls timeout.
What's amazing is in afterthought in the Rajon Rondo trade back in 2014, Dwight Powell has shown himself to be a pretty good player in Dallas. You know, they signed this athletic big man to a long-term contract to keep him around.
Roberson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Dallas also making some changes. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Noel. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea. Dallas has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And Dwight Powell, the 45th pick in the 2014 draft, and traded Doris 3 times in just the first 2 months of his rookie season.
It had to be a whirlwind, Kev, and in this day and age, does it come as any surprise when he got traded to Dallas, a friend told him about it because the friend had seen it on social media. I wouldn't call it red carpet, but he's arrived nonetheless.
And Dwight Powell played all 4 seasons at Stanford for the Cardinal, still filling out his frame.
He is, and you know, the knock on Powell was that he wasn't tough enough to battle inside at this level. But guy is a worker, basically sleeping in the gym, and with his length and athleticism, he's starting to figure it out.
On the free throw, no good.
I think Powell is an exciting prospect, has a phenomenal understanding of the game. I think he'll make big improvements with time.
Here's Grant. Here's Anthony. It's not going to go for him. Now Dallas takes it the other way. They host the Spurs after this one. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for him. Nowitzki for 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. And Anthony gets it to go on the assist from Roberson. Roberson's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Powell, that's good.
Yeah, this is an evolving aspect of Dwight Powell's game, getting comfortable in the catch and shoot from just about anywhere.
And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Oh, how about using the rim to get some true hang time?
You know, he just wanted to make sure the landing was softer than the takeoff. Patterson bringing the double. In the corner, Smith with it. Powell for 3. His second miss, now 2 of 4 on the game. Goes up the baseline. Roberson can't hit. Dallas shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Matthews, no one around him. His 3-pointers off the mark.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. They get Devin Harris. Well, you talk about the very definition of what a defensive specialist is, Doris, and that is Andre Robertson.
Right. What you love about Robertson is he can match up with multiple positions on the defensive end. One thing you worry about, obviously, is teams when he is on the offensive end, they're going to give him a lot of shots because he's yet to prove he can consistently knock those down.
Relax on the first.
First one falls for him.
Well, the Mavericks last season, remember, went 33-49. It was their first losing season in 17 years. That's a remarkable record of winning.
He's off on the second. And in the midst of their 16 seasons of 500 basketball or better, the Mavericks with 11 straight seasons of 50 wins or better.
And they have 12 of those 50-win seasons overall, Kev. Everyone knows they've got an NBA title underneath their belt. If you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, you have every reason to be proud.
2.
These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
And the first one drops.
Well, if you think back to last season, guys, the narrative was that Russell Westbrook had zero help on this roster. To be completely honest, I thought it was unfair to the pieces that were around Russell Westbrook and the job they did playing their roles to exactly the standard this organization wanted.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And what the fans are saying is that Westbrook, Doris, just needs more help around him.
Well, certainly the acquisition of Paul George should relieve some pressure on Russell Westbrook because now he's teamed along yet another superstar.
Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line. That'll put Dirk Nowitzki on the line. That's on Patrick Patterson. For Dallas, they have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
One shot.
Doris, we're always talking about players developing their skill sets. What do you think is the hardest skill to develop as a broadcaster?
I think for me, the hardest... Stop it! Well, Jeremy Grant doing work at the rim. Don't give him any space, boy. This guy can get up.
And for the Mavericks, they're shooting 33% in the second quarter. The offense has looked crossed up and confused at times. Matthews passes to Powell. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Boy, guys, how about the offseason the Oklahoma City Thunder had? The acquisition of Paul George, one of the elite two-way players in the game, now playing alongside Russell Westbrook. Look out, everybody.
Two shots.
The free throw drops for Powell. And you wonder about the future direction of the Mavs. I had heard their European scouts were very keen on a young, unknown prospect back in 2013 by the name of Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Wow, what might have been, Kev. Giannis could have been their Kawhi Leonard to build around. Instead, the Mavs traded back in the draft to free up cap space. A definite do-over if such a thing ever existed.
Here's Roberson. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got 4 rebounds in this game. Harris outside. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Roberson gets the bucket. Roberson's got 5 points now this quarter. Dallas shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. And Matthews kicks to Smith. Nowitzki a screen. Smith drawn the double team. Here's Harris. The rebound by Grant. They have been really controlling this one.
You never want to be complacent on the floor. That's when you lose momentum. And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
And so it's Dallas with them. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Patterson. The finish, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
Listen, if you're open, Felton will find you. He has just such a great feel for the game.
Patterson's gone a perfect 5 for 5 from the field. Now here is Harris. Defense is right there. Nowitzki for 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Anthony's got 5 rebounds tonight. And there's Felton. That's good on the assist from Roberson. Felton's got his second bucket tonight.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Harris kicks to Smith. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And Smith continues to look better from deep, showing great touch from beyond the arc.
Nice D from Nowitzki. Matthews against Grant. Now Matthews. And that one hits back iron. Here's Patterson. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Felton's got 4 assists now tonight.
Well, Kev, that's just an example of Patrick Patterson being determined as a finisher. He was in tight spaces and he still makes the shot. That's nice.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead. Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
Harris with it. 6 points for him. Here's Smith. And stolen by Felton. Anthony drives in, and it's Anthony with the jam.
Oh, got to his launch pad, and Melo made sure that went down.
Mavericks shooting around 41% on the night. Taken away by Felton. To the inside. Here's Roberson, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Roberson's got his 3rd basket of the night. Now here is Harris. Knocked away. Out of bounds. It'll be Mavericks ball. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Thunder.
And really, there's just such a lack of scoring for them from out at the top of the arc in terms of three-point range. And in today's game, you have to get scoring from the three-point range. And that area out above the free throw line extended is a real weak spot for them so far.
On the wing, Harris. No good, unable to end this run. The Thunder shooting 70% from the floor. Truly incredible work from this offense tonight. Nowitzki with the screen on Anthony. And Matthews kicks to Harris. Here's the 3. Matthews, no good.
He's obviously still trying to find the range. No success this quarter. You wonder what it would take to get him to pass the ball.
And they're just dominating on both ends. And it's reflected now in the score.
Oh, absolutely, Greg. They're absolutely rolling in sync totally on both the offensive and defensive ends.
Nowitzki gets a wide open look, and it's off from three-point range.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Good.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Over in the corner, Matthews. Pass to Smith. Poked away. Here's Roberson. 9 points in the game so far. Shoots over Powell. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got 5 rebounds tonight. You look at the success that Coach Billy Donovan has had both at the college level at Florida and his first few years in the NBA at Oklahoma City. Doris, he very much feels at home in playoff and pressure situations.
Well, certainly Billy D has a lot of experience managing a team in a postseason setting. This is a guy who always tinkers during the regular season to find different angles to help his guys. Billy Donovan, one of those guys increasingly who you don't want to see in a 7-game series.
And Grant with the clear path to the hoop. And the dunk by Grant.
Well, Jeremy Grant doing what is to his strength, which is get out and transition, give yourself an easy opportunity.
It's Matthews on the wing. Offline with his 3.
And out of rhythm offensively, but he continues to work at it.
Well, you can see he's sputtering a bit, but he's trying to get going. I do like that he's continuing to be aggressive.
The Mavericks shooting under 40% all in all for the game. There's the double team with Grant. Powell dishes to Harris. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. Harris has got 8. 50 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
You know, these are the kinds of nights when he gets it going like this. Melo can be a one-man band.
Outside Matthews. Nowitzki sets a screen for Matthews. And it's Matthews again missing.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know. And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Harris passes to Nowitzki. Matthews a screen on Patterson. And here's Harris from the arc. Offensive rebound. Back to Nowitzki. The 3. And there's Devin Harris on the assist by Nowitzki. Harris has got 8 points here in this quarter.
Nowitzki just so unselfish. When he sees a teammate wide open, doesn't take long to zip that pass right in the pocket.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. New Orleans, you guys had a tough time stopping their offense in the first half. What do you have to do differently?
You know, we got to protect the paint. They're getting way too many easy baskets. You know, that's us communication on front and the post and, just communicating a lot more.
We'll see if those changes stick. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have an exhilarated home crowd joining us for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaq. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 20 points, 2 assists, and also 3 steals. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, they built this lead in large part because of the sharpshooters off the bench. The subs played a superb game. Get it? Subs, superb. Oh, I'm rolling tonight. I mean, they played like starters.
And looking at Dallas, Shaq, your thoughts?
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind in this game. I think if they can control those things, they'll be okay, Ernie.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. You look at Paul George in this game, guys, he's been everywhere.
And through the first two periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to, just a slasher's mentality.
You know, my favorite thing, Greg, I think he showed no fear in attacking the defense. He got on the interior with ease.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. And here's Smith. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Anthony, and it's Adams in at the center. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City.
That's just terrific job by Barnes. In full attack mode, dominating that area of the paint. Go to work, Harrison.
And George gets it to go.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
Well, you want to slow this man's roll right now if you're the defense, because you've got to make somebody else beat you. He's cooking right now.
It's Westbrook with the drive, and the shot falls short this time. Harris kicks to Matthews. I'm not sure, Greg, there's a player who better fits the description of a grinder than Wes Matthews.
Yeah, so tough, too. I mean, mentally and physically. He talks about inflicting his personality on the team, and he truly is what I'd call a culture builder.
It's his first trip to the line.
Two shot.
And the first one at the line is good.
Boy, you look back on the signing, guys, of Wesley Matthews in Dallas. 4 years, $70 million for a player coming off an Achilles tear. This is an injury that has ruined many a career. That was a huge gamble for the Mavericks.
Both free throws good from Matthews.
Well, Wes Matthews, the prototypical 3-and-D guy, an amazing perimeter scorer who loves playing on the defensive end.
Kept alive, Adams. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up two on the second effort.
And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Absolutely perfect start to the half, setting the tempo right away with an easy opportunity at the cup.
That's tipped. It's stolen by Adams. Here's George.
Oh!
You got to be kidding. Well, Kevin, if you allow Paul George loose in fast break situations, he's an absolute force in the open floor.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And Smith gets double teamed, taken away by Anthony. On the wing, George. He's covered by Matthews. Yep, that one goes in there.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Ball's knocked loose. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Keeping the pressure on and starting to pad this lead around the halfway point.
Yeah, seems like they're starting to pull away a bit right now. They just look a little faster and a little hungrier than the opposition right now.
And it's Paul George with the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. Yogi Ferrell's checked in for Harris. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Smith with it. Westbrook picks him up. Here's Matthews. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Matthews has got 4 this quarter.
Gritty effort by Wes Matthews. Just buries himself in the paint and connects on a quality look.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
You can tell they've got their foot on the gas pedal right now. No slowing down. The defense starting to look helpless.
Smith up top. He's covered by Westbrook. Barnes dishes to Matthews. Nowitzki with the screen on George. Just 4 to shoot. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. Smith's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility. Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
He gets that one.
How about the quick release there by Smith? He does not lack confidence when he's in attack mode.
And it's sent back by Nowitzki. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by.
Out of bounds.
And that'll be Dallas as it goes out of bounds. Mavericks retain possession. And the Thunder making a switch here. Abrinas is checked in, and then for Dallas, Nerlens Noel comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Barea subbed in for Smith. And here's Matthews for the three. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night.
Now, Wes Matthews getting a reputation for that unreal range.
Scooped up. Here's Adams, and finally they hit one. Adams has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Barea, the pass to Farrell. Matthews with it. George picks him up. They double him with George. Back to Matthews. He's looking for Noel and finds him. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Adams. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Goes up. And there's Paul George on the assist by Adams. Adams has got his 5th assist in this one. The Mavericks have gotten every shot to drop since halftime. They're 5 for 5 from the floor. On the wing, Barnes. Anthony on the double team. Kicks it to Noel. Feeds it to Barea. 6 on the shot clock. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Anthony with the block.
Melo just reading the play the right way, put in the extra effort to come up with such a nice block.
Abrinas with the bucket.
You know, guys, fast break points right now in their favor, and they're really pushing the tempo.
The Mavericks shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Greg, when you think about the franchises in the league that have sustained success, who are always competitive, Oklahoma City should be right there at the top.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the records for the Thunder, and their success really does speak for itself. 8 straight seasons of 500 or better basketball. Only the Spurs and Rockets can also make that claim. They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
And Noel kicks to Farrell. And he's good on the 3-ball. Farrell's got 5 now.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
Defender in his grill, and Russell says, "Let me shake you off, sir. I've got to score this."
There's the double team with Westbrook. Tries to save it. And oh, here we go with George. Nobody back. And it's George finishing it off.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
There's no doubt. They're making all the right moves. Their chemistry tonight has been phenomenal.
And again, Oklahoma City running the court in transition. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Well, this guy knows how to do this in the open floor. Russell Westbrook in transition is the most dangerous player.
For Dallas, they've gone 6 of 9 from the floor here in the second half. They've got to be happy with that. There's a screen by Noel. And Westbrook, here we go.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Well, there's no doubt this quarter has been all about them. They've come out hot, and they're not showing any signs of letting up.
Now, here's Barea. He's covered closely. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's foul number 2 for him. Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Anthony. Measury, he's checked in for Dallas. Noel dishes to Barnes. Clock at 6. And stolen by Patterson. Goes up. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check another log on the fire.
Boy, the opposition has got to feel an avalanche bearing down on them right now. They're wiping them off the floor.
Westbrook against Barea. Barnes outside. They double him with George. 6 to shoot. To stop the run. Barea, no good.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Nothing they're doing on the defensive end is working. They've got to figure something out, and fast.
Here's Farrell. He has 5. And here's the break. Here's Westbrook. And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Well, that's 3 of their last 5 baskets in transition.
Doris, so often we talk about high basketball IQ. Is that something you can learn, or do you have to be born with something like that?
I think it's probably a little bit of both, but if you look at someone like LeBron James, whose basketball IQ may be the highest we've ever seen, I think he's a guy whose basketball knowledge is always expanding. And I think if you love the game, you're constantly taking in information. So probably a little bit of both.
So you've always got to be curious, right? Even if you're at the top of the game like LeBron or yourself.
Right. LeBron is just, he's constantly taking in sources of information, upping his ante in terms of film watching and preparation. Really special to be able to watch that guy work.
And I know that's how you prepare as a broadcaster now. I'd like to tag along sometime and watch you prepare for a game. That'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be a blast.
Noel passes to Mejri. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul. Barea with it. Westbrook picks him up. 5 to shoot. Tries to snap the cold streak, and it's J.J. Barea with the 3. Barea's got 5.
Yeah, play a game.
Oh
my God.
That's how you attack. Wow.
How'd he do that?
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. And that one's good, Barnes.
12 straight points off of 3-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
For 3, Westbrook. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's foul number 2 for him. For Dallas, they've gone 8 of 12 from the field since the beginning of the third. Barea kicks to Farrell. Hey, Doris, on the subject of league expansion, Commissioner Silver has said that 30 teams feels about right at this point. How long do you think it's going to be before we add another franchise or 2 to the NBA?
Right. Let me just say that I completely concur with Commissioner Silver. The last thing we want to see when the NBA is at its peak in popularity is expansion that might dilute some of the competitiveness that we want to see happen. The bigger question right now is these super team issues. Are we at a point where there is such disparity between the best teams in the league and the worst? Let's address that first, and then we can look at expansion down the road.
So you do not like the super team aspect that we're beginning to see formulate it from time to time?
I don't necessarily want to say that. I think the jury is still out, Kevin. We have to see how the next 2 or 3 years plays out as it relates to both Cleveland and Golden State. I think there was a period in the 80s where it felt like it was the Lakers and the Celtics every year. Let's not overreact, but certainly let's not add teams before we make sure we are where we need to be from competitiveness standpoint.
Here's Westbrook. Makes it off the glass. Westbrook's got 27 points.
Well, how strong does Russell Westbrook venture into the paint? He is outstanding this close to the rack.
Westbrook with the steal. 11 feet away. Mejri with the rebound. Dallas has gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. Westbrook with the steal. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Boy, what has gotten into him? He's taken his game to an unreal level this quarter. But how about Salah Mejri, the first ever player from the NBA out of Tunisia? 7'2" shot blocker with extensive playing experience overseas.
Smith checked in for Dallas.
One shot.
The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And speaking of Mejri's international experience, he was a 29-year-old rookie in 2015.
Right, Mejri is a guy, it took him a while to make his way to the NBA, but he has shown he belongs. Guy's pretty mobile for his size, a really solid rebounder, good rim runner off the pick and roll. Lot to like about him.
And they've gotten very aggressive on the offensive glass here in the second half, getting a lot of second chance points.
Adams brings the double team. Barnes outside. Poked loose. It's stolen by Adams. And here we go with Adams running it up the court. And the shot goes in. 34 points for George.
Oh, Kevin, that's not an easy play. Paul George is an extraordinary player. Keeps his eye on the bucket at all times.
Farrell passes to Noel. Barnes against George. Barnes kicks to Noel, shoots over Patterson, offensive rebound. Farrell can't hit.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the inside.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
You know, two things happen there. Excellent coverage on the shot, and then finish the possession securing the boards.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Barnes has got two now from beyond the arc in the third for the Mavs. Westbrook, that's tipped. They retain possession. They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
You got to get it. Now, Kevin, if you're the defense, you're starting to get slightly concerned. Paul George creating well for himself on another level.
We've got 22 seconds left to play here in the third. And it's Paul George with the foul. That will get him his fourth foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we will head to the line for two.
And not the guy you want to send to the line. He has been automatic.
The Mavericks have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
First free throw is good.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. Oklahoma City shooting it as well as you're going to see, 67%. Abrinas' shot is off. Smith outside. He feeds it to Nowitzki. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. Right back after this break. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Guys, good job hitting ahead. That means we're running, which is good, okay? We've got to pay attention right now, okay, and what we're doing coming out of timeouts.
Pushing the action, fast pace. Billy Donovan wants to keep them rolling it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job in transition. They just need to stay focused and be efficient.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. On the floor for Dallas, they've got Powell. Harris is out there with Farrell. Then there's Measuring, and it's Finney-Smith in at the 3 spot. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. Here's Farrell. Shot clock at 6. There's the screen. Off the screen. Dallas with a fresh shot clock. Measuring, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
And as the Mavericks look to rebuild, Doris, what do you see as their areas of need?
Well, certainly an injection of athleticism might really trigger some things, because if you look back on 2017, they were last in the league in blocks, fast break points, points in the paint, and free throws attempted. A lot of those stats correlate with athleticism, so I think they need more of that.
And he knocks down the first one. Doris, some people are pushing for Holcomb Rucker to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What do you think are the chances of that happening?
You know, I think contributions to the game take many shapes and forms, Kevin. And obviously, Rucker Park is one of the most identifiable places in the history of the game. If you're a city basketball player, you know Rucker Park. You tried to prove your bona fides there. So if the committee believes Mr. Rucker is worthy, I am all for it.
And that one is good from Eustace.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
The Mavericks shooting in this game, 45%. Farrell kicks to Finney-Smith. Dallas moving the ball around. And that's out of bounds. Dallas will retain possession. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Here's Farrell. He's guarded by Johnson. Powell with the screen. They set the pick. Here's Farrell. 4 on the shot clock. Stolen by Grant. Here's Felton. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Now, this is what Felton does. He attacks the defense, especially how he draws fouls on his shots.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
Well, we all know that Mavs head coach Rick Carlisle is considered one of the best in the NBA in terms of his ability to X and O. He is outstanding at maximizing his players' strengths and putting them in positions to succeed.
Raymond Felton hits them both. And Carlisle last season selected by general managers as the coach who makes the best in-game adjustments in the league.
Well, think about this. He came in second to Greg Popovich in voting for best coach in the league overall. Everyone understands that in terms of X and O ability, Rick Carlisle is at the very top of the list. You will not find very often a more complete package in that position than Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Here's Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
Well, Kev, how about Jeremy Grant playing to his strength, uses that athleticism to finish that one with authority.
Out to the right wing. Here's Finney-Smith. No good from outside.
Boy, he's so used to having a hand in his face that I think it caught him off guard to be that wide open.
Count it.
Well, in that individual matchup, the rim is totally unprotected. He's just got too much size on him.
Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. They set the pick. There's the double team with Grant. It's stolen by Johnson. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Johnson. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Harris outside. Eustace grabs the board.
Well defended, though, and he's not someone who handles that kind of pressure very well.
And it's good for 2.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Here's Farrell. There's a screen. Powell with the screen. Farrell can't hit. Here's Oklahoma City. They're on a 12-4 run. Here's Johnson. Doris, one result of the new CBA minimum contracts increasing 45%. That's a big help to the NBA's working class, I think.
Well, I don't think there's any question that you see increasingly role players, someone like Draymond Green, whose value has not necessarily translated in terms of points per game, but his value to winning can't be calculated. And you're right. You see important role players and guys below the superstar level increasingly becoming better compensated. And, hey, listen, there's more of the pie to go around. Who doesn't enjoy a little more cherry pie, Kev?
Yeah, good thoughts. Good thoughts. The first one falls. Ferguson's checked in for Oklahoma City. So Johnson hits 2 of them. The Mavericks have gone just 1 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Powell with the screen. Johnson over to help. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Finney-Smith kicks to measure it, and the layup's good off the glass.
That is really solid low-post offense. You cannot waste those chances.
For Oklahoma City, they've gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go in. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter.
He definitely got nervous at the rim. I mean, he needs to make sure he finishes strong.
That one goes. Count it.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Out of bounds. It'll be Mavericks ball. J.J. Barea is checked in for the Mavericks. The Mavericks have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. And Doris, we know basketball is a team game, but fans and media alike love to focus on the stars. What do you think is the psychology behind that?
You know, Kevin, I think you and I certainly admire watching talent. And it doesn't matter what shape that talent takes. It could be a Broadway star doing their thing on a nightly basis, sometimes twice a day. For us, to watch somebody that we know has paid a price to be great is really special. And so those who are best at what they do are that because they put in the time. And who couldn't admire the work that's required of that?
Well, what I like about your broadcasting, Doris, you never get distracted by the stars. They're obviously there, but I love the way you encompass the entire team and aren't just fixated on just that big-name player that maybe the average fan is.
Yeah, I think sometimes people forget NBA stars because they are so great and can seem like supermen. They're people like everybody else.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
That free throw, no good. So he comes up empty at the line. Johnson over to help. Here's Harris. Got a hand on it, and it was not a clean block. Whistle blows and a foul on the defender here. It's a shooting foul, so free throws will be coming up.
Devin Harris taking 2 shots.
Two shots.
And the first one drops. And Harris drops them both. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten it done so far from the field here in the fourth, going 6 for 7. He gets it in there. Grant's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, this is why Jeremy Grant's size is important. Stretches out beautifully whenever he's close to the rack.
Berea against Grant. Stolen by Grant. Felton goes in, and he finishes nicely on the layup.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Here's Finney-Smith. There's the double team with Grant. Passes it to Berea. Launches a 3. Powell kicks to Finney-Smith. Doris, looking at the way the playoffs are set up, the top 8 teams from each conference get in. So at what point might the league eliminate divisions altogether?
I don't think that's far in the future, to be perfectly honest with you. What I'm as curious about, Kevin, is would they ever see the teams, regardless of Eastern or Western Conference, because there seems to be some disparity in level of competition. Is that something you'd like to see, Kevin, where the teams are simply seeded 1 through 16 based on record?
I don't think I'd mind it, Doris, but I do like the fact that, kind of like in the other sports, where you don't have the familiarity, but you always think about what would it be like to see a 5-game series, Cleveland Golden State, whereas in the regular season, just there and at home. And there's something, I think, kind of mysterious, and you can project so many different things. It's great fodder before a series begins.
No question. It'll be very interesting to see which direction the league goes in.
Here we go, 1-on-1. And that one is good from Eustace. Eustace has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion.
It's good from long range. Great game for him. Double-double down. 12 points and 10 rebounds. And it's good, 2 points.
Well, Felton doing a terrific job finding guys for high percentage looks.
Dallas has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Stolen by Grant. Here's Eustace, guarded by Powell, and that one is hammered home.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Fantastic anticipation. Then he shows major explosiveness converting at the other end.
Oh, Kev, he put some anger behind that one.
You're telling me. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they've played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
How about the skills of Dwight Powell down low? Hard for the defense to match up with his length.
Finney-Smith kicks to Measuring. The feed to Harris. Pass to Berea. Fires the 3. No good from Finney-Smith.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Ferguson lays it up off the glass.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I'll tell you, if you don't box out well, expect to get burned. You can't afford to give them second chance opportunities.
And Felton is up top, guarded by Barea. And there's Johnson. That's good. On the assist by Felton. 8 points for Johnson. The Mavericks shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Knocked loose. Barea with it. Now Felton defending. And the pass to Finney-Smith.
Shooting for Dallas, Dorian Finney-Smith. Taking 2 shots.
Two.
And he knocks down the first one. And the Thunder making a switch here. Abrinas is checked in. And so he makes both from the line. Oklahoma City shooting nearly 70%.
This may be as aggressive as Jeremy Grant gets. He is right now lighting up the opposition.
Dallas has gotten 3 of their 6 3-pointers to fall here in the fourth. Harris setting the pick for Barea. In the corner, Powell with it. Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Boy, despite the miss, he did a really good job shaking himself completely free from the defense.
The Mavericks shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Fires from deep, but they get it back.
Wow, just getting all the luck right now, it seems. Good bounce.
Tipped away. Now Harris. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. Patrick Patterson is checked in for Ferguson. Abrinas kicks to Patterson. It's rebounded by Dallas. Measury's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Finney-Smith. They get it back. Here's Barea. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Here's Oklahoma City. Grant outside. Here's Patterson. He's still out. Now he is 9 of 10.
Well, you have to get something out of that possession, and thanks to Patterson's work on the glass, heads-up play to score that.
Powell dishes to Harris. There's 1:47 left in the fourth quarter. Patterson bringing the double. Measury kicks to Harris. 5 on the clock. The dish now to Barea. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
Oh, why, dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. Johnson over to help.
Yeah, that's a bad move there. Stops the clock and puts the other side on the line.
Shooting for Dallas, Devin Harris. 2 shots.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And he makes the first. Dallas making a switch here. Farrell's checked in. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The Thunder shooting the ball with incredible accuracy. 68% so far.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Thunder.
As one-sided as it gets today, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, his activity really stood out to me on the defensive end. He harassed ball handlers, came up with steals in transition. You had the feeling guys were looking over their shoulder, worried he was going to pick their pocket.
Mejri, good, and Harris gets the assist.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Here's Johnson. That shot, no good. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. Farrell kicks to Finney-Smith. There's the double team with Grant. Mejri with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Abrinas with the bucket.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Oh, there's no doubt. This crowd is into it, and it's because of how well their guys have played tonight.
Powell with the screen. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. Maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're ahead. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
This is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
I think it's an opportunity just for the coach to see some execution. Finish this thing out the right way.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. The free throw drops for Powell. So he gets them both. Here's Felton. He kicks to Patterson. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
At this point, they're completely overwhelming them. The opposition looks totally defeated.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Carmelo, what did you like best about the win tonight?
We just played hard. We came out here ready to play. We jumped out there quick on the defensive end, and offensively we got it going again. And it was a great team win today, though.
Everybody contributing. Carmelo, thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.